Well, guys, this is going to be a pretty difficult video for me to make without getting shadow banned. But I'm going to try to make it because it is extremely important that the word gets out about the Pentagon's recent threat assessment of, should I say, the only ally that we have left. Because this is kind of crazy. And everybody needs to hear it. So let me pull this up real quick. Okay. Pentagon raises spy threat assessment as NDAA seeks deeper defense ties. I'm gonna have to censor some words here so I don't get shadow banned. The Pentagon's Defense Intelligence Agency recently elevated our allies' counterintelligence threat designation to critical, the highest level in its system. The assessment was raised in recent weeks, though officials reportedly did not disclose the exact date of the change. The designation became public June 6th. The disclosure comes as Congress considers legislation that would significantly expand defense technology cooperation between the United States and our ally. U.S. officials reportedly believe our allies' intelligence services have intensified efforts to collect information regarding internal American deliberations involving Iran, conflicts in the Middle East. Officials told NBC that those concerns prompted the DIA to raise the threat designation. Israeli officials denied the allegations and reiterated that they do not conduct espionage operations against the United States. You've got to be kidding me, right? Since when? Since Jonathan Pollard? Since 9/11? Since when? The White House and our ally have denied the allegations described in those reports. The reported assessment has drawn attention because it became public while lawmakers are debating a provision in the fiscal year 2027 National Defense Authorization Act that would deepen defense technology cooperation and industrial integration between the two countries. See, the government knows that the people are tired of our money, our technology going there and being used to wipe a certain people off the map. So the National Defense Authorization Act is a way around that. Because by integrating the two, there is less transparency about where the money is going, what technology is being used, who's providing that technology, and all sorts of things that will be obscured by the NDAA. What a critical threat designation means. The reported designation does not mean our ally is considered an enemy nation. Rather, it reflects the Pentagon's assessment of the counterintelligence risk posed by potential intelligence collection activities. Counterintelligence programs are designed to identify, deter, and mitigate efforts by foreign governments and organizations to obtain sensitive information, classified material, and advanced technology. Historically, U.S. intelligence agencies have treated espionage concerns separately from diplomatic relationships. I wonder why. Probably because we spy on everybody. Friendly nations have frequently been accused of collecting intelligence against one another, despite maintaining close military and political ties. Federal counterintelligence activities operate under a combination of statutes, executive orders, and agency regulations. Among the most important is the Espionage Act, including 18 USC Section 793, which criminalizes the unauthorized gathering, transmission, or retention of national defense information. Intelligence and counterintelligence activities are also governed by Executive Order 12333, which establishes authorities and responsibilities for U.S. intelligence agencies and directs them to protect national security information from foreign intelligence threats. The NDAA proposal expanding U.S. and our ally cooperation. The reported threat assessment became public as Congress considers a proposal that would expand formal defense technology cooperation between us and our ally. Section 224 of the House Armed Service Committee Chairman's Mark for the FY27 NDAA would establish a United States Ally Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative. The provision calls for expanded cooperations in defense research, development, testing, evaluation, production, and sustainment. So basically, it would tie our two militaries together to a point where it would almost be impossible to separate them. The proposal goes beyond traditional foreign military sales and existing cooperative programs by encouraging closer collaboration amongst government agencies, defense contractors, research institutions, and technology developers from both countries. The initiative would seek greater integration in emerging defense technologies and in industrial partnerships. Supporters view the proposal as a way to accelerate innovation, strengthen defense industrial cooperation, and improve the ability of both nations to respond to evolving military threats. Critics argue that lawmakers should carefully evaluate potential risks associated with technology transfer, industrial integration, and information sharing for expanding cooperation. I can't believe this is even happening. Backers of the initiative. The initiative also appears to have been closely aligned with priorities advanced by our allies' government. In a letter to Representative Marlon Strutzman, Republican in Indiana, released after the House Armed Service Committee approved its version of the NDAA, our allies' prime minister wrote he was glad to receive your proposed congressional resolution endorsing my plan to shift the framework for U.S. and allied defense cooperation from aid to partnership. That is key. From aid to partnership. Because everybody's tired of giving all of our money to the ally. So the solution to that is the prime minister's plan to shift from aid to partnership, which all it would do is obscure where the money's coming from, where the money's going, the technology, who's providing it, what they're doing with it. It puts everything in the dark. The letter is noticeable because I'm not going to say his name, did not merely praise the proposal. He described the underlying concept as my plan, suggesting the efforts reflect a policy objective sought by his government. The proposal also received support from I'm not even going to say their name. You know their initials. AIPAC. After the House Armed Service Committee approved its version of the NDAA, they took to X to publicly thank committee members for advancing legislation and specifically highlighted the Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative amongst the provisions it supported. The organization described the measure as an important step forward toward expanding U.S. and allied defense cooperation and strengthening the long-term strategic partnership between the two countries. Section 224 helps give America a strategic... you know what? I can't even read this anymore. I really can't. I'm disgusted. If there are any American politicians that voted for this, to pass this amendment, to pass this bill, whatever it is, they are traitors to this country. Plain and simple, they are traitors to this country. The only thing this does is hide everything that the governments are doing. And basically makes it so our militaries are not separable. I don't understand how you can have allegiance to the American flag and vote to pass a bill that would intertwine our military with any foreign military, ally or not. I think anybody that voted to pass this bill is a traitor to this country. Plain and simple. I think anybody that voted for this bill needs to be voted out of office at the earliest possibility. The American people are tired of our money going there, so they concocted a plan to do it in the dark. And that's exactly what it's going to do. Because under the guise of national security, everything is going to be obscured. The dollar amounts, the technology, the companies involved, what they're doing, it's all going to be hidden from the public eye. On the same week that the Pentagon raises the threat level of that country spying on us to its highest level possible. And I'd like to say thank you to whoever it was in the Pentagon that put that information forward. Because you know what's going to happen? They're going to lose their jobs. They're going to lose their jobs. They're going to lose their careers. The administration's going to go after them. And their lives are going to be ruined. But they were true patriots to our country, and they put that information out there. And I just want to say thank you to the men and women who did that. Because I'm sure you know what's coming for you, and you made the decision to do it anyway. And you guys are true patriots. I'm kind of speechless right now that we have American politicians that would even consider doing something like this. I honestly don't even know what to say. And the only one that I've heard speak out against this is a Democrat, Ro Khanna. He's the only one. So I'm gonna pull up a clip of Ro Khanna on the floor speaking about this NDAA and giving his thoughts. And you know what? Thank you, Ro Khanna, for standing up and being an American. Because at this point, I am convinced there is no left-right divide. It's either you are pro-America or you are anti-America. So let me pull this up for you here real quick.
entire country of Israel has a GDP that is less than a single town in my district. Yet somehow Netanyahu thinks he could tell the American people what we should do. The person who's most upset with him right now is President Donald Trump. And everyone in America, whether you're a Republican, an independent, or a Democrat, says that we need to tell Netanyahu that America calls the shots, not the prime minister of any other country. Mr. Netanyahu actually wrote to a member of Congress to put this Section 224 into the bill. So
how long are we going to put up with this? How long are we as Americans going to continue to allow this kind of corruption and shit to happen? Because you know what? I'll tell you what'll happen, right? This bill will pass, and our militaries will get significantly intertwined. And when things pop off in this country, the American military might have an issue if they were called to put down American citizens because of some kind of uprising. But you know who wouldn't hesitate to put down American citizens? The people tied to this bill. So I want you guys just to remember that. Right? When we have soldiers from a foreign country coming here because of a potential uprising in our country, and what they would do to American citizens that our own military would not do. We're living in scary times right now, guys. There's no other way to put it. This has to come to a stop. I don't know how we do it. I don't know what the solution is. It's for people that are it's for people that are much more polished and smarter than me, because my solution would be pretty ugly. So I love this country more than anything. I don't know what we've become. I really don't. I am very disappointed that we have allowed our country to be so subverted. And I don't know how to rectify it. But I know there's a lot of angry patriots. And I know how they want to rectify it. And I pray it does not come to that. But the more that shit like this goes on, the closer and closer the true American patriots are getting pushed to a place that they can't come back from. I would suggest writing your congressman, your senator. Not that it's going to do anything. Ro Khanna got shut down. It's probably going to pass. And that is a fucking scary thought. So, sorry, this video, not that upbeat. This one was a little emotionally taxing to see that our elected officials who are supposed to represent us went along with this bullshit when I know the American public does not support it. So, with that, guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. I promise you the next video will be a little more lighthearted than this. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I don't know what to think anymore. I feel like they're fucking with us at this point. I really do. I feel like they're just pushing to see how much they can get away with. I don't know. I don't know. I love you guys. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Help me out. And that's all I got till the next one. Thanks, guys.